skies, oh yeah. Keeps me in the skies, oh yeah. It's like I roll the dice and I hit a 12 because I love it that you're giving me a stop show. The best, I've been the best that I know how. So we capture all these moments with the camera. Keep your loving coming, I ain't gonna tell you stop it. Right in your head, I'm hoping that you won't drop it. Some may wait, but they want to. I'm all sick, cause it's in my body. My heart drive, cause it's in me. Doesn't take a lot to love us, something like you want.
Just got to love this lady, yeah? She goes by the name of Silly Bossa Madame, and this is her latest offering. Matter of fact, this is the title track to her latest album entitled Lucky Girl. You must go listen. It's I think there's around about 11 or 12 tracks on that album. It's a very beautiful lady, and of course we know Sally. She's been in the music industry for some time. She has been Female Artist of the Year as well. So that's how we say good morning to you this morning on the Morning Mix. It's a Thursday, and I'm feeling quite like I thought it's already January, but I think December has still got a lot of days to go. Dirkas.
Sammy, you must slow down, man. It's only the 12th of December. How can you be so cruel this morning? I mean,
No,
it's Thursday, it's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
It's actually quite lovely, but we are blessed to be in the studio.
Yeah,
and it's nice to be
most
here.
definitely.
And we also got Marius, colleague,
Yeah.
friend, and
morning,
sport
good morning,
and,
good
sp-
morning.
and sport presenter, and
Alles Mumwe.
knowledgeable sporting presenter. So Marius, thank you for starting.
Hannes Kaufman is also
Golf is
Kaufman is somewhere. I don't
he's
know where
at the coast.
enjoying.
He's near Ludwig, traveling up and down the south, and he will be back next week. So then we'll give him sort of like a spot in one of the chairs here.
So Kaufman,
yeah.
good morning to you as well, and thank you for joining. Brown, good morning to you as well, and Sharks Charlie, a very good morning to you. And the question, what happened to Cubase and the rest? Those guys are on holiday. They are resting for a while. They will be back officially on the 6th of January, and they will be back and they'll be doing the goodies as they normally do it. But just to get things started, Dirkas will quickly just update us on the weather.
Yeah, I
how
think
it looks
so.
Like.
Just looking outside, there's a little bit of a breeze, a nice cool breeze. But if we look at the weather pattern for today, the interior of Namibia is going to be sunny and hot to very hot in the south.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, it's going to be partly cloudy and hot. But the windy weather will prevail in the west and in the south. And at the coast, it's going to be partly cloudy and cool to warm with some fog patches. If we look at some of the temperatures, Windhoek today, a high of 31, 20 degrees in the morning. Walvis Bay 14.25, Terrace Bay 13.20, Swakopmund 14.23, Rebels 18.32, Rundu 23.35, Otjiwarongo 16.33, Utapi 20.33, Oshikati 20.34. We can see it's nice and hot there. Upuvu 34 today, Ondangwa 34, Umathia 35, and Umaruru 33 today. Ukukuyu 35, also nice and hot there. Noordoever 35, Mariental 36, very hot there. Ketmans on 35, also hot there. And then Henties, very moderate temperature at the coast for those guys going to Henties. It's 14 in the morning, 18 today. Buitenpost 19.33, Aranos 19.33. So those are just some of the temperatures for the travelers if you're going to...
I think if you want to go somewhere, go to the coast. It
Yes,
looks more
absolutely.
like the coast is the only place that is a bit cool.
Are there any prospects of rain?
Nothing at this moment in time. Absolutely nothing. We look at the 7 to 14 days. Cape Town's going to be sunny and warm if you're going to Cape Town with 18.28. Johannesburg partly cloudy and cool, 13.25. Gaborone 31, Maputo 29, Harare 28, Lusaka 28, and Luanda 31. So if we look at the 7 to 14 days, we can have sort of like moderate weather today. Here and there, maybe scattered thunder showers, but that's
but
really...
looking at the weather, like the maximum temperatures, they're quite high.
Very
so
high, very high. So I think
the rain is...
It's on. Look, if you take from the 16th on, 16th Monday the 16th onwards from there, you can have more cloud, build up in the sky, and then possible rain on the 16th, 17th, and then also from the 21st to the 25th. Thunder showers with fairly sort of widespread rain. But we will, closer to the time, we'll update you on that. But it's looking good. Otherwise, we can have sunny skies with a little bit of cloud, but not a lot of rain for this week and parts of next week. Then it's going to start to build up again from the 16th, 17th onwards. So there you've got it.
How does it look in the north, like in
the
Angola?
You just had what Dirkas said
Yes.
now, 35, 33, 34.
All those very high temperatures.
Very high temperatures.
And most of them 35, 36. And we can expect it to get hotter in the next week or so. But there we've got it. If there's anyone would like a specific town and temperatures there, just send a message on our Informante Radio Facebook page, and we'll see if we can find those temperatures for you. But Cehmy, you're quite right. The coast is a place to be. Henties 14, 18. It's actually very nice there.
Very
Swakop
nice.
14, 23. Walvis Bay 14, 25. I don't have Luderitz. Maybe Kofi can send us.
Can probably tell us, yeah?
He can send us the information from Luderitz if they listen to us or they look at the streaming.
At the same time, on the Informante Facebook page, Ruth Nununep, good morning to you. Came through saying, wow, the heat's going to kill us today. In Mariental. She's right in Mariental. So, Mariental is one of the places that has the highest
21,
temperature.
36 today. 36. Hot morning, warmer than Windhoek, with a high of 36 today.
Yo.
Oh, there we got it. Maar hulle moet net vasbyt in Mariental.
I don't want to fast bed, man. It's right. As so long you need just dehydrate, as they always say, drink water more than enough. When you beer asseblief water.
Nou nie so vroeg in die oggend nie.
But I believe Mariental didn't get a lot of rain like we had last
In the
weekend.
past week.
Yeah.
I think the rain always is in between Mariental. When you're on your way to Mariental, in between there. I think Karibab, Mariental, it's not Karibab, it's Usakos, Mariental. If you drive in between there, it's always cloudy and it's always raining. But when you reach the either towns, it's always never raining. I don't know what's happening in between there though.
But maybe people can let us know what the weather is like where they are. There's an old saying, the best weather forecast is when you go outside your house and you see for yourself what's happening outside.
What's happening, There's a saying that say that the early morning, the early bird
catches the worm.
Catches the worm, So you wake up before. So, growing up, my mom always used to say that you don't sleep until the sun rises. You must always be up before the sun rises.
Yeah, that's very true. But, looking at Marius, you're talking about water and the weather and rain. The story on the newspapers today, on the front page of the newspapers, on the water erosion that caused that crack in the earth, 20 kilometers, close to Waterberg. And although it's not a new phenomenon, it's something that people don't see often and experience often. So some investigation is still going on as to what causes it, but it's most likely to be erosion, sort of like slightly lower from the surface.
Yeah, I think that happens when there's no vegetation. Then water erosion is much easier.
Yeah. And also the moving of the plates because of the mountain, that side of the mountain. So they believe that because of the drought spell we had, that some erosion actually took place underneath the surface, a couple of meters down. That's an interesting story to follow, but we'll check it out.
Into depth when we get to that one. Just moving on to our next news update, we'll check out what's happening in the world of sports. Marius, perhaps you can give us a brief on what's happening. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Yeah, I can just start off with an interesting story I saw in one of the local newspapers this morning. It was a tennis racket. Which belonged to Serena Williams, that famous number one tennis star, female tennis star, was sold for 300,000 Namibia dollars. But it was a broken one, which she broke in one of her tennis fits last year.
Yeah.
I think it was in the US Open.
She's known for that. She liked to take it and
she hit it on the ground and it broke, and she gave it to one of the ball boys. And he sold it to a sports collector for $500 US, which is approximately 7,500 Namibia dollars. and that guy sold it on an auction.
On an auction, and this decided,
for
I can make money with this. You got it.
I hope you'll use the money to build some tennis court somewhere.
Yeah.
So local, so don't throw away your broken sports equipment.
All memorabilia. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's especially if you are a star, yeah?
And then just go to South Africa quickly. I see that Graeme Smith, a previous Proteas cricket captain, was appointed as Director of Cricket in South Africa. We all know, if we had a look at the past World Cup T20 series, that South Africa was failing again to produce. So, like their rugby, I think they are busy making a few changes there.
But I think it's a good one, because when they approached Graeme at first, he wasn't just available. He said, let me think about it. But taking up that task, I think, will be an enormous improvement already.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Africa, there are a few cricket teams like Uganda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and South Africa. So I think it's important for the continent that South Africa cricket is doing well, because they can always compete on the world stage. And well, let's hope for the best.
But I think it's the right man for the right job then.
Yeah, and then on the local front, I see last weekend there was the Kiat Dirkas Memorial Chess Tournament were held in Swakopmund. It's an annual event, and a record amount of players took part, 50. And Dante Beekers was crowned the overall winner, and the best female was Rua Mukisa.
Yep. But you know what? Also, yesterday we spoke about the Desert Dash and the winners in that epic event. And again, Namibian cyclists. I think we must give them a big thumbs up and wish them well, because we've got some cyclists aiming for the Olympic Games. And they got their eyes set on that. So I think they've done extremely well this year. And the one thing that we must really sort of like see if we can find out is highlights of our school sports, our youngsters performing. Because we tend to sort of like oversee them, overlook them in their performances. And I know they're working very, very hard. And also in the sporting, what do you call it? The other sort of like the less known sporting events. Like the bow and arrow, the archery. We don't read a lot, we don't talk a lot about that, but I know we've got top performers in that sporting discipline. Gymnasts did well this year, and we never report on that. We always talk about the hockey and the netball, and that's it, and the school rugby, but we don't talk about the other disciplines. And we got youngsters that's doing very well.
I think in the next year we should look into it and just see how we can
even if it's once a week.
Yeah, once a week or twice, and just see what's happening. Yeah.
And also our Facebook followers, they can send us news. Because then there's a school in Otjiwarongo, for instance, and they got an athlete performing very well. We don't know about it. We don't always read about it. And it's not always published in the newspapers. So I think what we need to do is have a more interactive relationship with our listeners and with our followers on Facebook. And that goes for all the sports and all the schools up north, as far south as we can think, because that will make it dynamic and we'll be different in that respect. As a radio station, we'll stand out if we take the hand and we sort of report on our sporting heroes in school or at school. And doesn't matter what the age is.
I agree fully, Dirk. I think in the next year we should really try to expose or give some of these less known sport codes more exposure. You know, I know earlier during the year we touched a little bit on pool.
Yes.
But I mean, Namibia always qualify for the Cricket World Cup and the Rugby World Cup, and there are other sports where we have a lot of potential.
I think we also touch more on hockey as well. Hockey, I think.
Hockey as well, yes.
Inline hockey, definitely. We should do that because the guys are doing a lot of work. That new AstroTurf is nearly finished. That field, a lot of money is going into that. So people, investors, parents are really doing their utmost to make sure that our school sport disciplines and standards of performance are really very high. I'm thinking also about dancers, we've seen Namibia, a group of dancers going to Sun City to participate in that international competition. They came back with lots and lots of
prizes. I think they also won a first prize.
Yes, the pole dancers won.
That's another group. That's another group. Now, interesting about the two girls.
Pole dancers, eh?
Yeah, and you know what, Sammy, that they are aiming to get the acknowledgement from the Olympic Games as a sport.
As a sport.
Been seen as part of like gymnastics. I want to find out more about that. I don't have the facts.
I think that will be
I'm
interesting.
actually going to see if we can get some information on that. Is it worthy of the Olympic Games?
To have pole dancers?
Yeah.
It's a good question, yeah. Now, Neville Basson is in Cape Town, and he also came through saying, Moro, wat gaan daar? Yeah, he said it's raining and load shedding and KK traffic in Cape Town. That's where Neville is finding himself this
morning. Neville.
Yeah. Good morning, Neville. Just to end off a little bit of sports, yesterday we had the last matches for the last 16, that's the UEFA Champions, whereby Atlanta managed to win their game against Shakhtar Dar. That is 3-0. Man City, after the weekend, lost 2-1 against Manchester United. Also came through with a huge victory of 4-1 against Dynamo. And Real Madrid also clinching a 3-1 victory against Club Brugge. And Atletico Madrid also managed to win. That's their game against Lokomotiv Moscow goals. That's 2-0. And a stunning victory by PSG. Yeah, they beat Galatasaray. That's 5-0. That's 5-0. It's quite a huge margin when it comes to football, eh? Juventus, where the other guy is, that's there's the rival between Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and they are both playing in the Champions League. So yesterday Barcelona managed to win. So today Juventus also managed to win their games 2-0. That's against Bayern, and Bayern winning their game 3-1 against Tottenham, which is actually a little bit not so good news. Olympiacos won their game against Crevena Chesda. That is 1-0. That's a wrap up for the sports update right here on the Morning Mix. Good morning to you. If you have just, if you are streaming us live and probably wondering who's in the studio, they call me DJ Cehmy. We got Marius in the studio, and we got Dirkas Schmidt as well. So don't worry about where is Maria, where is Neville. We've
sent them. We've sent them away.
Yeah, we sent them to go relax, to come back with new ideas to next year.
We've actually sent them away so far that they can't get to the studio. We don't want them here.
So they're like fire, yeah?
So we're also sort of standing in for coffee. He'll be back with the 9 to 12 again. Standing in also for Cubase. But those guys will be back in the new year. So in the meantime, we'll sort of keep on talking. Yeah. So I just want to quickly come back to we were laughing now about the pole dancing. Yeah. And I've just check it out. Listen to this. For most sports, it takes years of earning international recognition and overcoming hurdles to prove itself worthy of an Olympic bid. In 2017, pole dancing passed its first big test into the possible Olympic bid, and it was granted observer status from the Global Association of International Sport. There we've got it. And the two girls in Namibia that have done it, they've actually won the doubles championships. They are in Swakopmund. They're doing a lot to promote the sport, and I think we should be very proud. Sonia Kiel and Charlie de Bortelli. They are the two girls that's doing the world of wonders when it comes to pole dancing.
All I can say is I'll never advise my daughters to go pole dancing.
Well, apparently it's hectic to learn the art. And to be those two were crowned world champs in LA, and you must be as fit as a fiddle. That I can tell you. And I think there's a total conception about that. Okay, then we've got it. Just a matter of interest on the sport of pole dancing, but doesn't matter what you do, just keep yourself fit. I think that's important.
That's very important. Yeah, Bradley, good morning to you as well. Welcome to the live stream. Let's get more into news. I want to start off with one of the issues that has really been on every front page this year now. General Sebastian de Tunga came through and he said that rape cases that were reported this year are over like 700 cases.
711 cases.
Yeah. So 353 out of that involved
adults.
Child victims. So,
yeah. But if you look at the stats, 358 adults, 345 women, 13 men, and then 353 were minors. That is shocking. Now, Cehmy, on this particular topic, if that doesn't open up your eyes as us as parents and caring for each other, then nothing will.
yeah.
It is shocking. 711 rape victims and 353 are minors. We are now entering the festive season. And I think we should do absolutely everything to make sure that our children are safe.
Yeah.
We must know where they are, where they're going. Even if we go with them to public places, we must walk with our eyes open and with a conscious mind, not an unconscious mind. It depends on how much you had to drink. But I mean, it is to really observe what's going on around you, because there are some very evil people out there.
Especially the uncles.
Yeah, well, yeah. I
think a lot of uncles came through this year, and because they live within the house and the parents always trust them, and it's like they say, it's the closest people that always are the perpetrators.
Goes down.
Yeah.
I think the children also deserve a wonderful season with lots of laughter and fun. And they deserve all the love they can get. And we need to protect them. We need to be aware of that. We have to stand together. We have to work with the authorities when certain cases or situations do occur. But
yeah, I think that's the other good news is that LSE got $400 million. That's from the European Union.
Yeah.
That's basically for the GBV fight that will be taken. They have a 2-year project, and the project is under the theme love with respect and discipline with care.
Yeah, there you got it. And teach the children. Teach them the discipline, the understanding to say no. It is the right thing to acknowledge certain things, to be open to you as a parent, to be honest about certain things. And you have to practice those things. You have to do it on a regular basis, not assume that the child will know, because they don't. And therefore they do fall prey sometimes in the hands of those that actually got healed.
Speaking of gender-based violence, we did have quite a number of cases reported this year that really shocked the Namibian nation. And I think that's something good as well, because at least LSE will go into the community and they will basically educate these people on gender-based violence, child care, and all of that. So sometimes people are not aware of the violence that is occurring, and they just think, it's normal. That guy's just like that. Until something bad happens, that's when they react. So this whole time, this guy was just doing this. We thought it's a normal thing until a bad situation happened. Then it becomes a problem.
I think one of the difficult things for parents always is to teach a child who to trust and who not to trust. That's a very, very difficult part. I've got 2 daughters myself. And on the one side, you don't want to be over conservative and sort of, you can't protect them, you can't lock them up. But you have to find an equilibrium to teach them the right and the wrong, and say to them, these are the people that you can trust, that you may trust, that you should trust. And that's a difficult part of bringing up and raising your children. But you have to have certain norms, certain standards. And that need to be discussed and communicated with your children on a daily basis. And I think we should help each other and stand by. And there's a lot of aid available for parents that's not sure about it.
Yeah.
And we should do that.
I think it will be something to look out for next year. And I hope a lot will be done to it. I think there's too much that has been happening this year. And people kind of lost focus on real matters within the community, So, yeah.
But Cehmy, just on real matters, we had an interview with UNICEF this year. And one of the other issues that they are battling with, the one is the abuse factor. Parents selling their children, allowing their children actually to be used for certain things, for certain favors, just to earn a bit of money. Now, that is as bad as anything else. But then there's also the part of poverty. children that just don't have food, they don't even have access to proper water, and that's another fight all by itself. So the UNICEF agency, they're doing a lot to help those that are really in need. I'm not talking here about the victims of abuse. I'm talking about people that are really in need, and that's another thing that we never should overlook.
Yeah, Marius, probably you have something.
No, well,
to add.
I only think that we always think that children need education, but I think parents need education as well, how to look after their kids properly. And I think all the cases that we hear of is just the tip of the iceberg. I think it's an international thing that's it's just a sad story when we think about domestic violence and stuff that happens in our country at the moment. Through the year, 711 cases of rape. That's
just on the rape side.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, if you go to the murder side and the abuse side, it's also an issue on its own, and it's a lot of cases that has been reported this year. But Biza Black is asking, hey guys, any link to watch them dance? You know we can share, and the pole.
Are they talking about the pole dancing?
Can grow in the
they must just go to pole dancing Namibia. Go and check it out on the internet.
That's where you go. Pole dancing Namibia.
Yeah.
And go check it out.
Go and check it and follow it. And they do, those guys, and it's really an art, I promise you that. Because some people don't think it's part of the gymnastic art, gymnastic, acrobatic kind of sporting art. So and there's a lot that goes into it, but go and check it out. We had them in the studio, as a matter of fact. Coffee spoke to them just after their award in Los Angeles. They came to the studio, and they are two mad hatters, but wonderful
dancers.
Yeah,
so,
performers.
Martina was just telling us earlier that the ministry, I think they will be having a press conference this afternoon to announce when the results will be coming out. That's for all the students, matrics, So the matrics have been busy, and they've been busy writing exams, and the grade 10s as well next year, going for a new, especially I feel for the grade 12s, because they are going to go to university, where it's a challenge, especially when it comes to school fees, tertiary fees actually. Do you know that at the current state, the Ministry of Finance did not pay tertiary funds since 2013. They have outstanding unpaid funds to students since 2013. So students have been complaining at NASFAF. They've been going there in and out saying, no, pay our funds, pay our funds. NAFSA's decided to say, no, it's not us. It's the Ministry of Finance.
But Sabi, can you imagine the actual repercussions here? If you can't get your results, or you get it late, because universities on the other side and colleges got deadlines by when you should enter, register, and pay for. And now your results are held back.
It's what's happening right now. There's UNAM students, when they want to go to view their results, they are told because of unpaid fees, they cannot view their results. At NAST is the same. I think IUM has the same problem. I think all our tertiaries currently has the same problem, where students cannot get their results because fines has not been paid.
And then what do? Because now you are forced into taking a gap year, or your family, you can't just sit at home. You don't have a job. You want to study. What do you do then? You're actually sitting with a hot potato. You can't move on. You can't go and get your qualifications. Now you're forced in, I must now find a job.
Yeah.
Until I get
Which
my...
is also difficult to get, because the unemployment rate is so high in the country as well.
So now they're forced into that situation. It's not a voluntary situation. You are forced into being unemployed, sitting at home. And that must break the heart of a young student that actually want to make progress and move on. Or had their eyes on entering university, go and be part of a group of students, especially those that you were with at school. Often 2-3 guys girls decide, let's go and study together, go to university together, and they're looking forward to that. And all of a sudden you are not, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Coming to the student fees, there's a new student organization, I think it's called the Students Union. Student Union, is what it's called. And they have decided they will march into the Ministry of Finance. They will peacefully walk into the Ministry of Finance, and they will wait for the Ministry of Finance to release funds to NASFAF.
Absolutely.
So they said if the minister does not release funds, they will have a holiday session at the Ministry of Finance. They will camp there, they will sleep there till the ministry, because they say it's no point to go into a new year. New parliament has just been elected. You cannot now introduce a new government while the other government have outstanding
debt
that they have not
signed off.
Signed off. So they say they need to be paid off when they get into the new year, into the new government. All of that is sorted out. But it's really bad for our government to come through, because they are the ones that give promises to students. No, during their manifestos, they always come through and say, no, we'll make tertiary education for free. That has been there ever since.
Let's hear what our viewers on Facebook, what they're saying, and let's get the opinion, guys. You can send it to us. We would like to share it with the rest of the people following us right now.
You're more than welcome to do so. Moti, Josie, Motinga, new faces today here. There are a lot of faces at Informante Radio that you are not aware of. You probably just don't see them behind the mics, but they are here. So just so you know, I am Cehmy. I'm mostly always behind the scene, but I also have a show between 1 and 2, and we have Dirk. We call him Father Christmas for now, because he's going to make sure that he's going to give you all presents, compliments of Informante Radio. And we have Marius.
What is he on the other side?
He's on the other side.
And you guys must listen to my shows always between 2 and 5 with the info drive. Now, I've got a wish for the new year. And we're going to try very hard to make it come true. And we always stream the morning show between 7:30 and 9 o'clock. But we're going to do everything also to stream Kalfi's show. He's always on between 9 and 12. We can pick 11 to 12 or 9 to 10. And the same with your show, Tati Nawanes, between 1 and 2. And then at least an hour of my show in the afternoon. So then people can actually see all of us in action.
So it's a pity we don't have women here. We've lost all.
Oh, we'll get them back, don't you worry.
We'll be getting them back next year. So at the same time as we are talking about funds, state funds under Investec is being investigated by the Ministry of Finance. We're talking about the millions of Social Security, GIPF. We've got. I think the other funds, I think it's the pension funds or something like that. But what's really striking me is the managing director of Investec is James Katukulipi, and he was just arrested for the fish rod scandal. And now they're investigating that firm that he was a managing director of, that is also apparently misusing the funds. And on the other hand, I just don't know. I just don't know where to start anymore, because just 1 minute you want to forget about everything, then on the other hand something else comes up. But why are they taking so long to investigate these cases? That's all I have to say.
I think it's complicated. I really think it's complicated. Looking at all the videos and all the clips and contributions, the news reports, I think it's a very complicated case. And
well, I think it's more sensitive on who is going to be implicated.
True. Who's involved?
Who's involved?
I think we're going to see more heads roll. If not this side of the year, we're going to see them next on the other side in the new year. And we're in for a few surprises. That's for sure.
And you can see the Minister of Fisheries also saying that the fish rod saga will take a few years.
Yeah, the acting minister now says he wants everyone to go back to their jobs. But how can they go back to their jobs if they've closed all those companies? So they must reopen those companies to be able to employ all these people. The president said, yes, people deserve to have food to eat, to have an income, to have a proper life. But then go and reinstate, open up all those fishing companies first, and then give them jobs. Otherwise, where will they work? What will they do? So there's a big hoo-ha. Let them work. Let's give their jobs back, and that's it.
The acting minister just wanted to
Well, it sounds good.
To calm people
It's wonderful.
down, because people are now up
True.
in streams and they are angry about their own
Up in arms in
situation. Up
Walvis
arms,
Bay.
Yes.
The-
So now you just said, no, listen, guys, I think we're going to work on reinstating.
Yeah. The holiday,
them hope.
the beautiful holiday town of Walvis Bay is now sort of like, it's a roar of unhappy people marching through the streets, and it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to watch. It's negative again for Namibia. It's all over the news. So what do? Make a promise, but then keep the promise. Reinstate them. What a wonderful gift it will be for Christmas. For those people to say, we got a job as from tomorrow. What they do have is they have an announcement for the possibility, it's possibility versus probability, of getting a job back. But that's it. There's no dates, there are no exact plans as to who will employ them, where will they be employed, how will they be employed, nothing.
Nothing is
Yeah,
happening.
so pretty words. But that's politics. I think we should stop for the next couple of days talking about politics, and
I think people have been hearing a lot.
Enough
I think
for the year.
It's enough for the year, and every time this is what I am.
Let's
you know,
talk.
when December started, somehow I said, after election, I don't want to hear anything about politics.
Yeah.
But every time I
unfortunately part of
open
life.
a newspaper, there's politics, there's fish rod. It's like, will I hear fish rod till next year? So fish rod will be.
it's going to be
talked about
with us for a long time,
for a very long
and
time.
some other rods will also come out. I promise you, that's also going to that's another book that will be open up. But what we must do next week, I've got a suggestion, Sammy. We talk about various traditions of people preparing for the Christmas season and for the new year. You know, I would like to know, for instance, what will you do and your family? And I can tell you what.
Get December, boss.
That is exactly what I would like. So I want you to actually tell me. We're going to share that next week.
No, I think it will be good to do so. Yeah, I think it will be very good to do so, and we just shared. So Martina is also joining us in the studio to give us just a news update from the
Martina,
ministry.
you can come and sit here, or share that chair there with Marius.
Yeah, take over there, and Martina's
Yeah.
got some news for us. So let's hear what just came in.
Thank you, Martina.
Morning to you,
Thanks.
Martina.
Morning, welcome.
Good morning.
We make our team
Dirkas
bigger.
Good morning. Yeah, there just came a press statement. I think it came on the 11th of December now. It's from the Ministry of Health. They are also shocked about this, what has transpired. So to me, it was just a myth of what actually happened.
Are you talking about the
Yeah.
the incident with the doctor and the
incident-
baby?
Yeah,
We're
the incident.
just
They
about
say,
to
It
get
is
into
that is
yeah.
a shocking story.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Let's hear
yeah.
what the ministry is saying.
okay, the ministry said the tragic neonatal death of in Windhoek Central Hospital. They are really also shocked. They are going to not going to leave any stone unturned. They are going to investigate and see what actually transpired there. So.
The doctor was removed from his position, and they said it's better for the investigation.
Yeah. For make them so easy to know what actually happened there, and the ministry, even Ben Nangombe said he sending condolences to the family also. Yeah. So it's a very tragic death, and when the ministry really respond to this, it's really a big thing.
You know, and just to add to that, you know, this story was also written by an online news.
A journalist?
No, from UK called Mirror.
Yeah.
They wrote the story. So I think people are now getting more interested in what's happening in Namibia, and I think all the bad stuff are now happening, and for me it's really a bad thing,
Yeah.
because now they are reporting Namibia as this country where all the bad stuff are happening.
Even with the hospitals and the doctors acting, and they should act in good faith.
And the way I was reading and how they wrote it and how it's written.
Yeah.
Where they say the doctor just threw the
baby
head
on the bed. It was a very bad.
And blamed the mother for it.
For not pushing, as a woman.
I think what we need to do. I mean, I was shocked when I read the story. The way that the doctor act and blamed the mother for being incompetent to give natural birth. I think that was shocking all by itself. The way he dealt with it then thereafter,
And this, the bad part is there's no full explanation on what really transpired. We just hear the doctors say it is the mother's fault and the mother is feeling bad and shit.
But I think, Cehmy, as a radio station, and out of respect for the family and for the mother, we should leave it at that. What makes me very happy is the fact that the ministry released something like this, and they're sending welfare people to the family at the coast. They're living at the coast, and they also offer financial aid and support to the mother, because the mother obviously is still in a lot of pain. She needs a lot of medical care. She does not have the finances to pay for that, and psychological consequences. So that to me is beautiful that the ministry sent the press release. They had that, but I think in respect for the family and for the mother and what exactly happened, that to me, I think we should just leave it out for now. Some papers will report it, and I think we should leave it. It's a shocking story.
It's like a woman, me as a mother giving birth also. Sometimes, you have to open to a certain centimeter for the child to get out of your womb. So sometimes you don't open because when you're getting old, when you're aging.
But that's why you have doctors. That's why if medical support there.
Yeah, no. As a mother, as you are going, getting old, sometimes you don't open up as a woman. You can't open to push the child out. Sometimes that's why the doctor should be there to know, are you going to get a C-section or are you give a natural birth? So to mothers like me, having two kids, I know of the first birth it was a normal birth because I was still young, and the second one was a C-section. So it depends from woman to woman, and how tiny you are also, and it depends how you are opening. Like maybe she couldn't open, so that's why doctor should be there to know. Okay, this child should get a C-section to remove the child.
But you, as a mother, depend on the docters.
Yeah, the doctor should determine
and support.
Yeah, and support. So I blame the doctors.
Of course.
Yeah, not the mother.
Of course.
Yeah, because
but
I don't really want to think about it, But let's see how the investigations will. What results will come out?
Yeah, and then another story for that. The northern story also, where the mother also cut the child's 6 fingers. Sometimes traditional way. I remember I have a sister far from where we grew up. She had a small finger here also. That finger, sometimes the older mothers, grandmothers, they always put a string. Put a string around it, and then it falls by itself. So this mother was maybe like, it's a taboo for your child to get born with 6 fingers. It's like, it's weird.
Superstition, and
superstition. It depends from traditional ways of thinking and doing things also. So this mother decided, okay, let me just cut off it. Maybe it will help. And then she just, not knowing that
the kid will lose a lot of blood.
And then she just cut off child's fingers, and the child lost a lot of blood and died. Now the mother has to sit. The grandmother has to be in jail because of that.
We can talk about superstition. We can talk about beliefs.
A lot of things.
Interesting topics, and I think we can touch on that.
Yeah, but you can read more of that story on the Informante News Facebook page.
Yeah, it's going to be updated.
Yeah, so it will be updated and,
from the ministry.
So you're going to bring us the results tomorrow?
Yeah, the grade 10 and grade 12 results. Today the Minister of Education is going to have a a meeting actually when the results are coming out. So, girls and boys,
hold your
it must be a never for all the ones that wrote.
So it's going to be announced when exactly the results are coming out. So today at 2:30 actually, the ministry is going to have a meeting about that. So we are going to put on our Facebook page. So it's still coming around 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
so you must be on the lookout when the results are coming out.
Make sure that you follow the Informante Facebook page.
Yeah, so you guys can either have a good Christmas or a very bad Christmas. So
I remember at school, one guy at school, he told his mother, "My dear mommy, if I pass, just tell me the white T-shirt is out. Like I passed. Like I buy the white T-shirt in Dirkas. Like it was like it's a
The in thing.
It's an in thing
Yeah.
to know that I passed. If you tell it no, the white shirt it's not in Dirkas, then you know you have failed already.
But I can remember sort of waiting for those results.
those results
I
to
had
go.
absolutely no hope in those days. And then my mother actually read the paper. She had the information before me because I went on leave with some of my friends.
Yeah.
And those days we had no cell phones, so they had to phone the friends, the parents, and then relay the message to us where we were sort of having a good time on the farm. But all the time she's waiting for it. And the beautiful thing was is that when my mother sent the message
You
through,
know
she
what?
said
I
the
think-
headmaster actually phoned her and said he made it. I don't know how, but he made it. You know?
I know that feeling because everybody's on holiday now, so you are panicking when the results are coming and who's going to
I
tell
think
you.
for the students now, it's actually it's easier to get your results. When
Yeah,
we used to
the
get our
technology.
results because
Yeah.
of technology, they used to hang them.
Yes.
Everybody
at
has
the
to
school.
know.
So you had to go to the school
So
and,
you have to-
and look.
Everybody has to know
Where's
you
your
didn't
name?
make it or you made it.
Yeah, you're standing
Yes, so
amongst your friends.
yes.
Your name is not there.
Yeah, and your name is there, so you go and you guys will have to go see it.
You.
And they look at you and they go, oh, jy's 'n ou doffie. You have to come
People
back.
know how dumb you are. It was just
no,
it
that
was so
was,
painful.
that was more nerve-wracking because somebody coming already have seen your name and they'll be just like,
I think for many of people like us, you know, school really interfered with our sporting practices and involvement in social activities. But
but I
at
think it
least
was
we
fun.
did.
I
Of
really
course.
did enjoy it. As we are running out of time, let me quickly get
Yep.
to some of the messages. Biza Black said Father Christmas has got a first-class radio presenter's voice and tone.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
That's a big compliment. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and just notice his show is between 2 and 5 p.m. in the afternoons.
Yeah.
If you do want to listen to him, you can always stream us live. And Erwin Kahorore, good morning to you. Came through fact, bad and good things happen everywhere in the world. We just like to focus on the bad stuff and maximize that. Namibia simply like dramatic stories. That's Erwin coming through. Josie came through. That's Moti Josie. He even told, this is about now the doctor, he even told the mother not to push, which is bad. The doctor is wrong. That's an opinion from Moti right there. And Erwin came through again with our last comment before we say our tatas. Let's let the good news. Let's be the good news nation. Let's shine a light on
Yep.
the good. So
Thumbs
much
up
it
on that
Good one. news
overweights
barrier.
the bad.
Thumbs up
Yeah.
on that one.
And talking about bad things without offering valuable solution is a waste of time. If
And
you
energy.
ask me, and energy. Yeah. So that's some good advice right there.
Thank you
from
very
Erwin.
much, Edwin.
Erwin is about pause me.
Ja, nee, hy's op 'n drafstap.
A very positive-minded person.
Hy's op 'n perd wat galop. I like a guy like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So just to sign off, let's start off with Martina. Any final words that you want to share with the listeners and viewers out there?
Okay, as you said, we need to talk positive things. I hope and pray that positive things should come out, from today onwards. We need positive vibes, as Evan said. So only prayers need to, outweigh the negative. So I'm just closing up like that.
Yeah, I think we should right the wrongs and not let the wrongs repeat itself. That's important because then you learn a lesson out of mistakes. But if you keep on making the same mistake again, it becomes that is incompetence. That is not a mistake anymore. I just Sammy, just one more thing that we have to say, but we'll repeat it again tomorrow morning, is the importance of donating blood. We had the guys here at Trusco yesterday. And they were very thankful for everyone, all the staff that actually donate blood. The clinics are open. Swakopmund Wafies by Oshikati, very important. They asked me yesterday that we should stress the fact that they do have now clinics in Oshikati at the hospital on the grounds there. They've closed it for a while, but it is open again. And then they will have also clinics. Those people will visit the towns of Rebels, Okhanya, Gubabes, Uchu, Otjiwarongo, Tsumeb, Grootfontein, Keetmans, Mariental, Karibib, Umururu, Rundu, Utawi, and Okakarara. So please go and donate blood, because your donation can save 3 lives. And let's make it and look out for each other this Christmas and New Year.
That's what's up. And what can I say? All I can say is be the change you want to see in the world. That's how I'm going to leave you. Don't forget to catch us again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a Friday, so hopefully we'll have an artist or something. We'll have a little bit of fun in the studio. Do not be so serious, so we can just also get into that December vibe. We've been having so much bad news for the year, and I think let's just relax our minds and our thoughts, and let's come back next year with positive energy and inspiration and motivation.
For sure, absolutely.
So for that, good morning and goodbye to you. At the same Edwan Padulende, a bit late, but good morning to you. You can always join us tomorrow morning. We're out of here. Till we meet again, check it out.
Last year.